Hey everyone, welcome to Crypto Data. So today we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about a hedge fund manager who invested from $15 to $20 million in Bitcoin whenever it dipped down to $5,500 a couple days ago. We're going to talk about a $100 billion hedge fund company that's planning to invest in Bitcoin in December. And then we're going to talk about UK threatening to shut down Bitconnect and if it's a scam or not. So with that, let's get started. Right now, Bitcoin is showing to be $6,800, up 2.4%. Now that's huge. Recently it dropped to $5,500. It bounced off of that support and it rose all the way to $6,800 where it is right now. So we've been on a rally ever since, and all the money is pretty much faded away from Bitcoin Cash, moved over to Bitcoin, and we're on this healthy rally again. So I think we still have a little bit more to go on this rally before we get a little retracement again. But again, it's good to see money flowing back into Bitcoin and all that FUD, kind of being faded away, so to speak. So this next article here, there's a guy that is named Novogratz, and he's actually a former hedge fund manager of Fortress Investment Group, and he believes that institutional investors will adopt Bitcoin in the next 6 months. So Mike Novogratz, he's a retired Wall Street macro fund manager, believes that financial companies will start offering Bitcoin as an investment option. And he believes this so much so that at a 2018 Reuters Global Investment Summit in New York, he owns 10% of his net worth in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And he says, quote, "When it's that easy, the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum is going to go much higher. And that is a lot closer than people think." So basically he's saying, when it's so easy to get Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies online, anyone can get them anywhere around the world, third world countries, anywhere. That's what makes them such an attractive investment. Because when anyone can buy them, then, the price will just continue to rally. So he's saying there's so many people that can get into the market, and it just makes it that much easier for investors to jump in. So he's saying that he believes that Bitcoin could reach $10,000 in 6 to 10 months, claiming that institutional investors had already begun investing in Bitcoin. So this is a guy that has a lot of ties in Wall Street. He's worked for big corporations. He has a lot of network connections. So for him to believe this, that's saying something big. And it says right here, during Bitcoin's recent fall in value, which saw it drop to $5,500, Novogratz is reported to have bought $15 million to $20 million worth of the digital currency. One of his regrets was not purchasing more cryptocurrencies before when prices fell. So again, for him to see the value in cryptocurrencies and regretting not buying more when prices fell, that's telling you a lot of big players are getting into this market. Now we're seeing more of a trend. When prices fall, big money comes in to purchase it, and then price spikes right back up. So people are aware of Bitcoin, are aware of its growth, how much it's going to grow in the future, and they're just taking advantage of all these cheap prices. And finally, he says he firmly believes that in 5 years, the combined market value of all cryptocurrencies will be worth $5 trillion. So that's saying a lot. Currently, the market cap is $212 billion. Bitcoin's about half of that. So at $5 trillion, that means, based off of today's statistics, that Bitcoin's market cap could be $2.5 trillion if it's 50% right now. So that's almost 25 times more than where it's at right now. So we look there, nearly $7,000 times 25. That's over $140,000 for one Bitcoin. So that's a lot. In 5 years, that's not so far off, seeing a lot of other people's predictions of where Bitcoin could be. So I thought this was a great article. It basically shows you, point blank, that there are these big institutional investors that are buying Bitcoin whenever it drops. So, always keep that in mind. They're looking for any weak hands, shaking out any people they can to get lower prices in Bitcoin because they know how much it's going to rise in the future. So I thought this was great news. Then another article I was talking about. So there's this company that it says historic British hedge fund Man Group says that it will likely add Bitcoin to its investment universe once U.S. exchange CME launches Bitcoin futures contracts next month. So this is a $100 billion hedge fund Man Group, and basically what they're saying is, if you remember, the CME, which is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, is one of the largest derivatives markets in the world, and they are planning on releasing Bitcoin futures actually in the first 2 weeks of December. They're planning for it to be in the beginning of December, and it's basically going to allow a lot of other investment firms to invest in Bitcoin without buying Bitcoin directly. So they still get exposure to it, but they don't have to essentially make a trading exchange account or anything like that. They just trade the Bitcoin futures and they still get exposure to those returns. So this is actually going to have a lot of people entering the market. And for this hedge fund company, $100 billion hedge fund company, to say that they're going to get involved in Bitcoin once the CME launches Bitcoin futures, that's huge. I mean, that's saying that, basically, if you just think 1% of that is $1 billion. So for Novogratz, whenever he invested 15 to 20 million at 5,500, you saw the price of Bitcoin shot up. So even $1 billion comes into the market, that'll easily push Bitcoin to $8,000, $9,000, even $10,000. I mean, you have all these companies and we haven't even scratched the surface. So I thought this is a great article. It shows you that, Bitcoin futures are a big deal. Some people aren't, really focused on them as much, but Bitcoin futures are actually going to increase the exposure to Bitcoin tenfold to what currently the number of people in it are. So I think this is a great article. It just shows you exactly, how many firms are coming into the market and how many potentially new investors that we'll have in December, which is only, less than a month away. So that's great news. I just wanted to share that with y'all so you can see, exactly how many people are invested in Bitcoin. So with that, last article of the day. So you've probably heard about this already, but UK threatens to shut down popular Bitconnect investment site, or Bitcoin investment site, Bitconnect. So there's been a lot of controversy over Bitconnect. People saying it's a Ponzi scheme, some saying it's not. I know there's probably some people watching my video who are invested in Bitconnect. So I just wanted to bring this article up, kind of, share my thoughts and kind of what I think of the matter. So basically what it says is a UK company sent a letter to Bitconnect and basically told them, hey, you have to prove that you're not a scam. You have to give us the specifics of your company, the financials, etc., or else we will shut down your company and strike off your registration and seize your assets. So this was big news because basically they're cracking down on Bitconnect and saying, you're not really showing any proof. You're kind of shady with the people investing in your company, and you don't really have any specifics as to how you operate. So they've come down on Bitconnect, and right now, this has been what a lot of people have been talking about, and potentially it's caused some FUD in the market. And we saw Bitconnect took a dip from 287 to under 230. Right now it's about 260, so it's recovered a little bit from that. But again, it has people talking if Bitconnect is a Ponzi scheme or not. There's actually a talk about Twitter, and this guy here, he says 1% interest compounded daily would make your $1,000 investment worth $50 million in 3 years. Does that sound sustainable to you? And then Vitalik Buterin, who is the founder of Ethereum, says, yeah, if 1% a day is what they offer, then it's a Ponzi. So Vitalik is saying Bitconnect's a Ponzi scheme. A lot of their what they claim, I'm personally not invested in it, but for them to claim exactly 1% a day, plus or minus, it's still can't be sustainable over the long term. So it's it's a little bit risky. Again, if you're invested in it, more power to you. I just think it's too risky, and there's just not enough validation for myself to invest in it. So I just wanted to bring this article out there, and here it says basically that they have their company listed under a couple different names. So it says, prior to assuming the name Bitcoin AMR Limited, the company used to be registered as Bitconnect Public Limited, not to be mistaken with Bitconnect Ltd. So they changed their name to Bitcoin AMR Limited. I don't know if that's to maybe change focus, maybe take out the Bitconnect name so they don't associate with that anymore because it's had negative connotation or what. But a couple of these things, have been highlighted upon, and as well as the founders of it and the CEOs, a lot of their addresses don't match, etc. So there's a lot of controversy surrounding it, and it could be a real company, it could be real, but it's based off of this and everything. I'm still wary of it. So I just want to bring this article out here and show y'all why everyone's been talking about it. And there's this video on it. I know y'all have seen this before, but again, this video never gets old. Bitconnect had a conference actually on October 28th, and they had this guy talking about it. And, well, I'll let you watch it.
The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No, no, no. Bitconnect!
Oh, man, that guy gets excited.
Bitconnect!
Okay, I just wanted to show y'all that. That always gets me laughing every time. That guy is like the face of Bitconnect right now. But yeah, so that was a little laugh there. But hope this helped y'all out. You know, I hope it shed some light on some of the topics that were being discussed. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed my video. And until next time, see ya.